Are you planning to redecorate the inside of your house? You'll want to select complementary colors, choose the finish best suited for your walls and woodwork, and purchase the right tools that will help beautify your home. What should you do to properly prepare the surface? And how can you save your tools for future use?
The investment of your efforts will be worthwhile. A well-decorated and maintained home can add considerable value to your property.
Thousands of property owners come into MAB paint stores every year seeking advice. They appreciate the individualized service that makes M.A. Bruder & Son so well known.
And with MAB, you can rely upon quality. Quality paint that has been manufactured by the Bruder family since 1899.
Headquartered in Philadelphia, with additional production plants in Orlando, Florida, and Terre Haute, Indiana,
MAB distributes its paints and coatings to over 300 MAB paint stores, MAB dealers, and Richlux home centers.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful. In selecting your interior paint, consider that paints are available in two types: latex, often referred to as water-based paint, and alkyd, known as oil-based paint. Finishes ranging from flat to glossy appearances are available in both types of paint.
Latex paint is made with water and therefore has less of an odor. And cleanup is easier. Latex paints tend to provide a broader color selection and offer better color retention. However, a wide range of colors is available in both types of paint.
Oil or solvent-based paints may be preferred on intricate woodwork and trim, allowing more time for application before it starts to dry. The pros and cons of both types should be considered for each job to determine which to use.
What kind of finish do you want? Again, consider where you are going to use the paint.
Flat finishes give the most uniform appearance because the low sheen hides surface irregularities.
A gloss or high sheen finish is easiest to clean. Woodwork and trim are often painted with these finishes.
For drywall and new plaster not previously painted, you'll need to use a primer or a self-priming paint. Most latex products are self-priming, while the oil or solvent-based products require a special primer, such as Richlux Prime Fast or Richlux Sealer Undercoater. For new woodwork, you'll need to seal the wood with a primer, such as Richlux Latex Enamel Undercoater or Richlux Sealer Undercoater. This seals the grain of the wood and provides a more uniform finish. If surface preparation includes scraping away loose, chipped, or peeling paint, spot priming should be done to create a better bond and seal the bare surface.
When walls are painted an off-white, the homeowner will often choose to use the same paint for the ceiling.
If walls are painted with a color, you may choose Richlux Wall Shield in either a lighter shade or an off-white for the ceiling.
Dining rooms, living rooms, hallways, and bedrooms are most often painted with a flat finish paint, such as Richlux Wall Shield or Richlux Velvet. Kitchens and baths are more easily cleaned when painted with a higher gloss finish. Richlux Low Luster Enamel, Latex Low Luster Enamel, and Latex Flat Enamel are ideal.
Woodwork and trim are most often painted with a gloss or low luster finish for durability and easier cleaning. Richlux Low Luster Enamel, Semi-Gloss Latex Enamel, or Bright White Enamel, which is a high gloss enamel, can be used.
Richlux Luster Light Latex Flat Enamel provides the richness of a flat finish and the washability of an enamel, while allowing you to choose the same paint for both walls and woodwork.
Your MAB paint salesman is well trained and will help you decide upon the best paint to use for your particular project. Color will help you to produce the effect you want in a room.
Color can add excitement, or it can subdue a busy room.
Some points to keep in mind. Light colors reflect more light. They make things seem larger, and they can make things seem farther away.
The light colors can make you feel more cheerful.
Dark colors absorb light. As a result, they may make things look smaller or closer together.
However, they can produce a very dramatic effect that the lighter colors can't.
There are warm colors, the reds, oranges, yellows, and yellow-greens. These colors will seem to advance towards you and convey the feeling of warmth.
The cooler colors, blues, violets, blue-greens, and blue-grays, seem to retreat from you. A subdued feeling is often achieved when a room is painted with the cooler colors.
Using these as basic principles will provide some do's and don'ts for you.
Do study chips in both daylight and the light or environment they are intended. Colors often change under artificial light.
Do plan to continue the color flow throughout your house by using harmonious colors in rooms that adjoin.
Do paint the ceiling, walls, and trim the same color if you want to create the appearance of a larger room. If you do plan to mix colors within the same room, use a warm color with a cool one, but do not use the colors in equal proportions.
Do use light colors to make a room look larger.
And dark colors to make it appear smaller.
A southwest room will feel even warmer if reds or yellows are used.
Or you may want to cool this room down by choosing blues and greens.
Conversely, northern exposure rooms may appear too cool.
Using the warm tones will make it cozier.
Let color really work for you. If you have a long, narrow space, paint the two end walls in a warmer or deeper hue than the other walls to make the space appear less narrow.
The color of a room can have a dramatic effect on the mood you want to create. Although neutral colors are safe, don't stick with them because you're afraid to use color. Use these guidelines and let color put a decorative touch to your room.
To determine the amount of paint you'll be needing, measure the distance around your room and multiply that by the height to give you the total area in square feet.
If you're using a different paint for doors and windows, subtract that area from the total square feet.
A typical door is approximately 21 square feet and a typical window 15 square feet. Divide the area to be painted by the coverage expectancy printed on the label. A gallon of latex paint covers approximately 350 to 400 square feet, while a gallon of oil base covers approximately 400 to 500 square feet.
If using the same coating for the ceiling, that area can be figured by multiplying the length times the width. Add that square footage to arrive at the total surface area to be painted.
In the example shown, this 10 by 15 foot room with an 8-foot high ceiling has 400 square feet. 2 doors and 2 windows reduce that to 328 square feet of surface area to be painted. The ceiling will be painted with a lighter paint. That area equals 150 square feet. The customer will be needing 1 gallon for the walls, a quart for the trim, and a half a gallon or 2 quarts for the ceiling.
While at the store to purchase your paint, you'll find a wide variety of brushes from which to choose. There are 3 major types on the market.
Natural bristle brushes, which are made from animal bristle, are recommended for varnish and oil-based stains and paints. They are not recommended for latex-type paints because they absorb water and lose their shape.
Synthetic bristle brushes, which are composed of nylon or polyester filaments, are recommended for application of all latex, alkyd, acrylic, and enamel paints.
Foam brushes don't hold up well, but they are ideal for small jobs and touch-ups. They can be used to apply both types of paints for a mirror-smooth finish.
Selecting the correct size of brush can save time. A large brush will obviously spread paint on an area more quickly than a brush half its size. You'll find brushes cut differently for trim painting. A contoured cut allows you to trim around the windows, hardware, and the like more easily.
Most do-it-yourself interior wall painting is done today with a paint roller. With the use of an extension pole, the upper part of the wall and ceiling can be done without climbing and moving a ladder every few minutes.
Roller covers vary in size and nap. The smoothness of the finish is affected by the length of the nap. Use a short nap for enamels and a longer nap for flat finishes.
One of the newer products on the market is the paint stick. Paint is stored in the handle, reducing roller-to-tray refill trips. Accessories can make the job much more pleasant and eliminate interruptions. For example, masking tape, drop cloths, detergent to wash your walls, thinner for cleanup, spackle to fill holes and cracks, rags, sandpaper to smooth rough areas or scuff glossy ones, and a sturdy ladder for reaching those higher places.
It's wise to make a list before you go shopping. You'll want to prepare your new brushes and rollers for painting. They'll often have a few loose bristles and fibers. To remove these, work a new brush back and forth against the palm of your hand, then spin it between both palms.
A new roller cover should be rubbed down using a wringing action of the hands. Both brushes and roller covers should be lubricated with water for latex paints and solvent for oil-based paints, and then spun to remove excess brush moisture. Preconditioning your brush and roller cover will greatly improve their painting performance. Getting your room ready to paint admittedly takes some time, but it'll make the job less frustrating if you have readied the room.
Draperies, curtains, pictures, lamps, and as much furniture as possible should be removed to another room or placed in the middle of the room and covered with lightweight plastic drop cloths to protect from spattering.
Canvas or other fabric drop cloths are better suited for the floor area.
Paint professionals all agree that surface preparation is the most important part of painting.
Not even the best paint can adhere to dirt, to flaking paint, or to glossy surfaces.
Washing and thorough rinsing with clean water is recommended for all walls and must be done in the kitchen and for noticeably dirty walls. Washing from the baseboard upward will prevent streaking. It's important to rinse with clean water to remove any residue, regardless of the directions on the detergent.
If wallpaper or painted over wallpaper is on the walls, it's best to remove it, since problems can develop. Wallpaper remover makes the job easier. Once the wallpaper is removed, wash the walls thoroughly with Soil-Ax, Spic and Span, or trisodium phosphate and rinse with clean water to make sure all paste and sizing have been removed. Some wallpapers can be painted over. However, tears must be repaired and the paper must be well secured to the wall. Check with your MAB paint salesman for expert advice when planning to paint over paper.
Remove handles, window hardware, light fixture collars, and switch plates.
Fill cracks and holes with spackling compound or plaster patch. A large hole might require a piece of screen cut to a size slightly larger than the hole with several layers of spackling or patching compound applied. Sand all repairs smooth. And remember to dust around the area and the baseboard below afterwards. A dry paintbrush is ideal for brushing dust away. The spackled area should be primed, and MAB's Prime Fast is an excellent primer.
Previously painted trim and woodwork probably have a glossy finish. Use fine sandpaper to scuff them up to increase the adhesion of your new coat of paint. Again, dust the area afterwards.
Cover areas that you don't want to get paint on, such as hinges on doors, woodwork, and moldings, with masking tape.
Reread the directions on the paint can label. Every suggestion on the label should be followed. Plan to provide adequate ventilation during your project. This will reduce fumes and odors and speed drying time. Now you're ready to start painting. May we suggest that you rub protective cream or MAB's Minute-Off waterless soap on your hands and arms. This will make it easier to remove spattered paint from your skin. All paint should be stirred using an up and down spiral motion to assure thorough mixing until it appears uniform. Allow latex paint an opportunity to settle after stirring to eliminate bubbling.
We suggest that you transfer the paint to a larger container or pour half of the paint into a bucket to reduce the chance of spillage or drips.
A ceiling in a room gets painted first. Paint a border around the ceiling as the painting of the ceiling progresses. A 3-inch to 4-inch brush is ideal for this.
Dip the brush in and tap it against the side of your bucket to remove the excess paint. Using a large bucket with a grid or a paint tray, fill with ceiling paint and roll the cover of the paint roller gently over the grid, spreading the paint evenly onto the roller cover.
Paint across the width rather than the length in 2-foot sections. Lap marks can be avoided by not allowing the first section to dry before painting the next. Using an extension pole is not only easier than using a ladder to reach, but it's considerably safer. Continue until the ceiling is completed. Your wall is now ready to be painted. Paint a strip where the ceiling meets the wall and from the ceiling to the floor at the corners where the roller can't reach. Don't get too far ahead of the roller.
Paint a large M or W. After an area of about 2 feet by 3 feet has been covered, roll back and forth to fill in the unpainted area and even the film thickness.
When painting windows, start with the mullions or cross moldings. Next, the top rail, side rails, then the bottom, and finally the frame and sill. Many do-it-yourselfers find a sash tool easier to work with for trim and woodwork.
Panels on panel doors are painted first, starting with the edge molding, then the panel itself by brushing vertically. After the panels are done, follow with the horizontal sections. Finally, the stiles on both sides of the door.
Wall-to-wall carpeting at the baseboard can present a problem. A metal trim guard slips under the base molding and protects the carpet.
The trim guard will probably pick up paint, so wiping it clean during use will prevent a mishap.
When you're finished, stand back and admire your work. Cleaning spills and spatters when they occur will reduce cleanup time.
A wet sponge will wipe away most latex spills. And for oil-based paints, use a cloth dampened with paint thinner.
Brushes used for latex paint can be cleaned by removing excess paint and then by washing with soap and water and rinsing well.
Roller covers are reusable if properly cleaned. Again, remove the excess paint and wash.
Brushes used for oil-based paint require a different approach. Soak the brushes in paint thinner or mineral spirits long enough to loosen the paint. Then work the bristles against the bottom of the container to release the paint. Spin the handle of the brush with the bristles inside the container to remove the excess thinner. Then wash the brush with soap and water. Rinse thoroughly, then spin as before. Or use MAB's brush and roller bath and follow directions.
Brushes should be stored in a brush package or foil. Leftover paint can be stored for touch-up later. The lid should be pounded down securely. Placing a cloth over the lid will prevent spattering.
Wait for the paint to thoroughly dry before replacing furniture, curtains, and pictures.
When the room is resettled, you'll feel a sense of pride and accomplishment in a job well done. And with MAB paints, you are assured of quality you can see.
We hope you found this video presentation useful and informative. For further assistance, please contact your nearest MAB paint store or dealer, or call 1-800 MAB, 1899.